Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a translation of a message that I received, still in communication with our dear sister who is saying that she is a prostitute. Strange things, they do happen in this world. The message, it reads like this. Hello, Brother Nashi, how are you? I feel so sorry for the men that go out there just to sleep with a prostitute. For when you sleep with a prostitute, you create a soul tie. A covenant will be created between you and that prostitute. I feel so sorry for the men that do come to me because I actually work for this other traditional healer. This traditional healer gave me a bracelet. Each and every time when I sleep with a man and when that man pays me, this traditional healer will be able to access the finances of that man. A man that dates me, that sleeps with me, will end up having the spirit of bad luck and poverty afflicting him. This is how I ended up being a prostitute and how I got this bracelet from the traditional healer. I was born, and it was in the year 1991. I was born and raised in a township in Harare that is called Mufakose. My parents, they were devout churchgoers. We used to go to the Seventh-day Adventist church. Then there was another church that came to town. It was a Pentecostal church. When we used to go to the Seventh Day, back at home, there was a lot of rules. My parents will not allow us to do a lot of things. But when we started to go to the Pentecostal church, they started relaxing a lot of the rules. I still remember growing up, I was a child that was very naughty. My parents then built some back rooms because they wanted some rent money. So most of the people that came and became tenants at my parents' house, most of them, they were bachelors. There was one guy in particular. He used to work as a security guard. He would work on day and night shifts, but most of the times he would be working on night shifts. This guy, each and every time when there was no one but only me and him, he would call me to his room. He knew that I loved money a lot. He would be like, I want you to sweep for me. And he started to touch me in a way that was inappropriate. But because I loved money too much, and a lot of men who were our tenants, they would give me money. So I ended up being abused by that man, thinking that it was okay. He would give me money and tell me that I should not tell my parents what was going on between me and him. Fast forward, things started to go so bad. This was after my father had taken most of his savings, and he had been told by the Pentecostal pastor that if he brings his savings to church as a seed offering, God was going to bless him abundantly. After this had happened, my parents, they started to fight a lot because the money that they had been promised by that pastor did not materialize. There was too much tension at home, so much that I would even get out of the house without my parents ever knowing that I would have left and gone to a club with some of my friends. My father, he started working somewhere else because he was fired after he had stolen some money. My father used to work as a driver, and then because he had lost his savings and things at home were so bad, he tried to steal some money from the company, and then that was when he was caught. And when my father was caught and fired, things got even worse. My mother, she started working as a maid in the suburbs, where I ended up working and meeting this other girl who was already a slave queen, who made me to meet a guy, and I was bewitched by that man's wife. My mother then told me that she was going to look for a job for me in the suburbs. I was happy and I started working. At the place where I was working, my bosses, they had their own daughter who was a little bit older than I was. She was a real slay queen. She would date men that had money, men that treated her really nicely. Each and every time when she would return back to see her parents, they would never be angry, knowing that she would bring money and she would give them a lot of money. She always drove different cars. For the blessers that she was dating, would give her cars to drive. And I just wanted that. We became friends because she used to say, "You are like a little sister to me." And then that was when one day she called me and she told me to prepare because her parents were not at home. All this time, whenever she wanted to go out with me, she was unable to do so because of her parents. But on that night, when we went out, her parents were not at home, and she said, "How about you prepare so that I can come and collect you? There is this other nice place that I am supposed to go and I want to go with you." And I said, "It is cool." She came and then she collected me and I went with her. When we were at that party, that was when she introduced me to this man that we met at the club. This guy, he was a little bit older, but I saw that he had money. Me and that guy, we started talking a lot, and the guy, he told me that he was in love with me. That was how I started dating a lot of these blessers. One day, when I was with the guy, this was after he had bought a phone for me. In those days, for you to have a phone, it was something else because mobile phones, they were used by like rich people only. So this guy, with the way that he had loved me, he said that he wanted to buy a phone for me, and indeed, he bought a handset for me and he gave me. One day, after we had finished making love, that was when I saw a text message on my phone, because before the text message, there was someone who kept on beeping and beeping and beeping. I did not know who was the person that kept on calling me over and over again. So I ignored. I did not know that she was the wife to the man that I was with. Then I opened my phone. When I opened my phone, I saw that there was a text message and it read like, "Stay away from my marriage, or else I will find you. And when I find you, I am going to kill you." But then I then showed that text message to my blesser, and I was like, "It is over between me and you." And he said that, no, we were not going to break up because of his wife, for he loved me a lot. His wife was just talking nonsense. So we kept on dating. As if it was just normal. After that, that was when I started to feel so sick. Like, I got so sick, I did not even understand what was going on with my body. It started like flu. Then I had a dry cough. Whenever I would cough, even my parents, they would feel sorry for me. They said that it was TB. Maybe it was TB. Sometimes they would think that it is malaria because of the symptoms. Whenever it was hot, I would take blankets and a reed mat and I would go outside on the lawn where I would sleep directly in the hot sun because I would be feeling so cold. I ended up spending days at Parenyatwa Hospital. The doctors did not even understand what was going on with my body. That was when the doctors decided that since they could not assist me, they have tried everything, the antibiotics, and it was expensive. That was when they dismissed me. I was taken back to my parents' house as sick as I was, and I was preparing to die in that moment. So at the Pentecostal church where we were going, a lot of people, they used to come and they would pray for me. Amongst those people that used to come, there was this other woman that came. And after she had prayed for me, my parents were shocked when she told my parents that she knew of this other traditional healer that she had once visited when she and her little sister were looking for a traditional healer. She explained how she had ended up consulting with a traditional healer. She said that there was a time when her little sister was barren. She was unable to conceive. She got married too many times, got divorced too many times. Each and every time when she will get married, the husband will end up rejecting her, saying, "Why can't you give me a child? Yet I married you." So all of her relationships, all of her marriages ended up in tears. That was when they thought of going to Chipinge and they met that traditional healer. And she said that the traditional healer had performed a miracle, and this miracle had helped her little sister to have kids, and she was happily married. My parents, they were confused. They did not know what to do. As Christians, they knew that they were not allowed to go and visit a traditional healer. But at the same time, their daughter, I was dying. I knew that I was about to die. That was when they made a decision that they were going to ask God for forgiveness later on, but we were going to visit that traditional healer. We did not even know that this traditional healer was a famous one. We went to that traditional healer's place there in Chipinge, and when we got there, that was when this man said to my parents, the healing was supposed to take place deep into his banana plantation, because he had a big banana plantation there in the village. It was very tough. As someone that was sick, even when they got me on the bus, I was just saying, God, just keep me alive, because I felt so weak. I knew that it was my time to die. So they took me deep into the banana plantation. The traditional healer then said, put her there, put her down. Then my parents, they placed me to the ground. I was even unable to walk on my own, to do anything. I was so weak. The traditional healer then looked at my parents and he said, in order for your daughter to be okay, for her not to die, you have to allow me to heal her using my tokologies. My parents were told by that traditional healer that the woman that had bewitched me, the way that I had been bewitched, the disease was deep in my bones, and it was very hard for any doctor to assist me. Even if they would give me medication, there was no one who could cure me. Only if he could let his tokologies come, and then they would bite me, and then they will start to suck my blood. Only after the tokologies had drank my blood, that is when I will be able to recover. My parents then said that they did not have any choice at all, for all that they wanted was for me to be healed, to be cured. That was all that they wanted. The traditional healer then summoned his tokologies, which he said the tokologies were hidden deep in the banana plants, and they came and they started drinking my blood. After they had drank my blood, that was when I recovered. The traditional healer then gave me a bracelet, which I still have to this very day. He said that this bracelet was the one that was going to protect me. But what this man did not tell my parents was that this bracelet, it would bring good luck to me. And when I say good luck, I mean when it comes to men, I can have any man that my heart desires. Not poor men, but men that can give me money. He was not truthful. He was not honest. He did not tell my parents that this was the charm that he had used to heal me. My parents were happy. We returned back to Harare. I even shocked my parents with my behavior. With the way that I had gotten sick, one would think that before dating a married man, I will think twice, but not me. I kept on dating men that were married. My parents even gave up on me. And then that was when I started to notice that men will chase after me. Men will give me money. I was now a full-time prostitute. This traditional healer, he would call me so often. Hello, my granddaughter, how are you doing? Are you making money there in the big city? I am also making money here in the villages. At that time, I did not know that each and every time when I sleep with a man, since this man, he had made me to become his tokoloshi, he would also benefit. He would have access to the finances of that man because of the covenant that he did without my knowledge. The bracelet was the thing that connected me to this traditional healer deep in the villages there in Chipinge. I continued living my life. There was even one point in time when this other friend of mine was a prostitute that had gone to South Africa. I went to South Africa, worked as a prostitute. So there is something that is strange that happened when I was still in South Africa, Brother Nanshi. Since I was working as a prostitute, there was this other man that I was dating. He was a police officer. This man, he took me one night after he had a big fight with his wife. And then we went to this other guest house. Whilst we were busy making love, when he was on top of me, this man just stopped breathing. I don't know if he died or what happened. When I saw that he was no longer moving, I then realized that he was not breathing as well. I pushed him to the side and I ran out of that guest house. I did not even want to find out if this man had died or not. This kept on happening to me over and over again. I started to see that it was a pattern. I will date a guy that had money, then that guy will go broke. But in the meantime, I was making so much money, so much that I was even able to start a business to buy my house here in Harare. Then I returned back to that traditional healer and he sat with me down. It was like, oh daughter, oh dear daughter, I am glad that you have came here, for I need to tell you the truth. This man then said that he did a covenant, and this covenant was what was keeping me alive. And he gave me the bracelet, which is a representation of the covenant that he did with the spirits so that he could be given powers to save my life because I was nearly dead. The man then told me that a prostitute on her own, even without using charms, is something that is bad, something that is not supposed to be tolerated by a man that wants to progress in life. He told me that each and every time that a man came to me wanting to sleep with me, it did not even matter if I was going to use charms or not. There is a soul tie that is created, he said, each and every time when you sleep with a man for money. He told me that God and the ancestors of that man, they will turn their backs on that man that purchases the services of a prostitute. After all of these things, that was when I agreed to work with this man. For I am a tokoloshi, just like I was told by a prophet who told me that this man made me to become his tokoloshi. And he said that that was the only way that he could cure me, by creating this covenant. To this very day, I still do this. You date me when you are rich. By the time that I am done with you, you will be broke and poor. I just want to give a warning to other men out there. I feel so sorry whenever I see a man coming to me saying that he wants sex, he wants to buy sex from me. I know that I'll make him enjoy for a couple of minutes, but he will suffer for the rest of his life, because by sleeping with me, that traditional healer gains access into his life. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our sister. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world. Do you agree that sleeping with a prostitute as a man, it will give you bad luck? Have you ever experienced bad luck in your life, you can come to my inbox and then you share with me your own side of the story.